Microsoft are in the process of laying off 1,900 employees within the Activision Blizzard team. This comes just 3 months after Microsoft bought the company. It's a tough time for tech as this news follows layoffs from Google, Riot, Unity, and loads of other companies. And boys, we're not even in February yet. If you're one of the unlucky ones, I truly am sorry and I wish you everything of the best. Remember folks, big corporates will always protect their bottom lines. Their shareholders will always be more important than their employees. And this is why we gotta keep supporting those indies. They are the future of this industry. Welcome to the first episode of Game Dev This Week, where we'll take a look at, well, the most interesting things that happened in game dev this week. Kenny, who is that guy who gives the game dev community a whole bunch of free assets, was banned from attending global game jam events after he criticized their AI sponsorship deal. Later, they retracted their ban and said it was incited by an individual and not the whole. It seems they kinda remembered that Kenny actually hosted 2 of these jams and is kinda loved by the entire game dev community, which means they were pretty much begging for a dish of cancellation. Allegedly, the global game jam people received a $5,000 sponsorship from Leonardo AI. In return, they would need to promote Leonardo AI in their most recent event, which obviously promotes the use of AI generated content for the jammers game. Kenny and a couple others did not take kindly to this, and Kenny is on a bit of a warpath on his Twitter feed, and it's a whole lot of fun to follow. Pretty risky move from Leonardo AI considering all of the issues surrounding generative AI assets. That being said, the generative AI gold rush is probably not gonna be around forever, so they've gotta try cash in as quickly as possible. Speaking of generative AI, Pocket Pair was recently accused of using generative AI in their newly released game Palworld, which can only be described as an open world Pokemon game with guns. IGN reported yesterday that Palworld has sold nearly 8 million copies in just 9 days. Personally, I'm really happy for Pocket Pair. Their CEO seems like a really chill dude and they've done really well with the resources they have available to them. There is no real proof of this alleged AI use, and I'm all for their overall approach of making a game that people are actually interested in playing. Pokemon combined with Zelda, combined with Fortnite, combined with every other successful game that's been released in the past 10 years seems like a pretty good approach to making a successful game. I downloaded it on Game Pass to see what all the fuss was about and it hooked me immediately. Yeah, it's a bit janky here and there, but all in all, it's a really fun experience. Speaking of fun experiences, Raw Lab has released a free Nintendo Switch port for Godot. It's pretty fresh out the blocks though and seems to be missing some key functionality like C# support. Either way, it's pretty cool that there's a cheaper approach to getting your game onto Switch if you're a Godot developer. This week's indie game highlight is Go Mecha Ball, which is a sick little game that released on the 25th of January about a cat-like robot thingy that shoots a whole bunch of robot-like enemies. I've been following the developer's work for a while now and this title is very impressive considering the size of the team. The level of polish is amazing. You should definitely check this one out. Now it's time for posts of the week. The most upvoted Godot post of the week is by UFlashhag, who created a puzzle game that forces you to think of ways to use letters to collect these little stars. What a clever little mechanic. Although it looks like a mobile game, so I expect it will be loaded with ads. Either way, I wish you all the best and hope you make at least $10 in ad revenue. The most upvoted post on the Unity subreddit this week was by Brute Force Studios, who is making a beautiful little paper plane game. The art style is unique and the game has a genuinely fun and interesting look to it. It also immediately reminded me of a game I used to play on my Nokia back in high school. The most upvoted post on the Unreal subreddit was this. Yeah, I don't really get the whole Unreal vibe. I'm probably just not smart enough. The most upvoted post on the indie dev subreddit was a post by Unlaid, who literally wrote a shader to make the graphics of their game worse. And people seem to love it. So yeah, there's that. Another interesting tool that released this week is Omni Animation's text to animation. A really cool concept by a company named Observe, who unlike many of the other AI companies, actually trained their models using data they recorded themselves. Whilst it's still in beta, it looks pretty awesome. You should definitely go check it out. In Unity news, Photon Fusion has finally become a verified Unity asset. This is really great news for Photon as they've been around for ages pages, and their solutions are pretty cool and are used by loads of Unity developers. That being said, I can't help but think it would have been nice if Unity spent some resources making cool stuff for netcode for game objects, like built-in client prediction, which would be nice for us Unity devs to make use of tools built into the Unity engine. I'm not really sure how they plan on convincing more people to use the newer versions of their software, but this would have probably been a good approach. Anyway, that's all I have for you this week. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.